4 years ago, I had my first spiritual awakening, and it was really brutal. It's really hard to admit and recognize that you've been delusional your entire life. It's really hard to look back on everything that you mindlessly enjoyed and realize how empty most of it is. Um, but it's even harder to forgive your ego after that. The number one thing on my mind for several years was, how do I get rid of this ego? How do I dissolve this? How do I, become what I'm supposed to be, apparently. And something I've learned is that trying to kill your ego is like trying to untie a knot by getting rid of the string. The ego is just a confirmation of energy, and so is spirit. One is knotted and the other is free. You don't get rid of that knot by pulling on the string. You gotta just be the thing that you are. And that is what makes spirituality so hard, is there's no one direction you can go infinitely that will fix your life. It's all balance. It is the middle path. It is and you're going to have so many ups and downs that make you feel like a fraud, and that make you feel like your life is not continuous, that you're failing yourself somehow. I've had a lot of those. If you look at my page, I'm sure that you can, maybe put two and two together on what some of them are. One of them is that I tried to speak and carry myself with these spiritual understandings that I have and with these wisdoms that I intellectually resonate with. I want to love everybody. I want to have compassion for everybody. But fundamentally, I'm not fully healed yet. And my patience does have conditions. And my love does have conditions, even though I wish it didn't. I guess I'm making this video because I want you to know that you're not alone if you're going through something like that. It's normal. And also that sometimes you do need to fall to see where you stood. Life is defined by contrast, and change is not just something that happens on the journey, it's something that is integral to the journey. You are never, ever, ever going to grow in this linear way where you're just climbing the mountain and every day is better than the last day. That will never happen. Because that's not how change happens. That's not how growth happens. Part of being spiritual and growing is knowing when to take your hands off the wheel, is knowing when to just go through the phases of life that you're meant to go through. Even when your gut says deep down, I know that this is silly, I know that that's okay. It's okay if you know what you're doing is silly. It's okay if you know what you're doing is superficial. It's okay to live that out. Like, you don't actually know that it's superficial. You don't actually know that it's silly. Some part of you thinks it does, but another part of you, a bigger part of you that's making you move the way you're moving, doesn't know yet. It needs to taste the cake in order to get over the craving. That's okay. That is okay. Because at the end of the day, all we have is our experience. And I'm not I'm not removing anybody of accountability in this, but you don't know what you don't know. You don't feel what you can't feel yet. There's no need to rush that process. And in fact, trying to rush that process, again, you pull on the rope and you tighten the knot. You loosen a knot by loosening it. Just being, letting it unfold naturally. And that's probably the most painful thing of all fucking time, if we're being honest. If we're being really honest, it is way more painful to just sit there and let yourself shit all over the floor and fumble around and figure it all out, rather than put your head to the grindstone and just grow. Man, if only it was that fucking simple, right? It's painful to relive the same memories. It's painful to do things that you know are not in your best interest. But we need to go through those experiences. We do need that. Like, that is a part of life. I guess if there's one more thing I have to say, it's that honesty is the only measure of growth. And that's not because we are more honest when we are grown and less honest when we are not. It's that we are most available to grow when we are honest, and least available to when we are not. Keep that in mind.